Okay, get yourself ready for your restorative practice. So have an extra blanket over your usual mat if you've got one, just to create the conditions of bed and sleep. Although we're not going to sleep, but you will feel like you have had, a good recovery after this. So have a bolster for your knees, a couple of blocks for your feet, and then a folded blanket for underneath your knees. If you think that you might be cold, then cover yourself up. Just make sure that you've got plenty of warmth. Just allow yourself to release into the floor. It's been quite a warm day anyway, hasn't it? So sometimes when it's been warm, it kind of drains your energy a little, but we should not complain because it's the first warm day that we've had in, well, it seems like ages, doesn't it? So just allow yourself to just feel the warmth, enjoy the freedom that comes with warmth in the air. Just allow yourself to release into the floor. So just enjoy these first couple of moments of blissful release, just releasing into the floor. Letting your arms and legs just release into the ground. Just focusing on long, slow, deep and deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Just allow the body to spread across the floor. Observe where the body makes contact with the ground, in contact with the equipment, and consciously relax the muscles of the legs and the arms so that the torso can completely release into the ground. Just allow your attention to drive itself into the soles of the feet. So that you feel that the soles of the feet release into the ground, just release and become tingly with consciousness. And consciously relax the soles of the feet. Draw your attention to the tops of your feet. Again, bring in your observation into the tops of the feet until the skin tingles with consciousness. And then relax the tops of the feet, letting the muscles just gently, passively spread. Let the feet become heavy. And draw your consciousness into your shins. And then allow the shins to completely relax, the shin skin to soften, and the shin bone to sink into the bed of the calf muscle. Draw your awareness into your thighs and your kneecaps. And then consciously relax the thighs and the kneecaps, just letting the legs completely release into the floor. Just relaxing the thighs and the kneecaps, allowing the fronts of the thighs to sink into the backs of the thighs. Draw your awareness into the abdomen and the pelvis and the chest. Feeling that as you inhale, the chest rises upwards and outwards, and as you exhale, the chest lowers and relaxes. And then consciously relax the abdomen and the pelvis and the upper spine and chest. Release into the floor. exhalation, allow the chest and the abdomen to completely relax into the floor. Release the abdomen and the chest and the shoulders into the ground. Consciously draw your attention into your arms, the upper arms and the shoulders, and the forearms and the hands. Listen to the breath. Consciously relax your arms into the floor. Let go of the biceps and the shoulders. Just relaxing your arms into the ground, relaxing the upper arms and the shoulders and the forearms, and then relaxing the muscles of the hands. Draw your focus into the throat. And soften around the throat. Soften the throat and soften the skin around the skull. Drawing the skin around the skull down from the crown of the head, down towards the front and back of the neck. Just spend a little time just enjoying the sensation of releasing into the ground, softening the muscles and the jaw and the tongue and the throat. So just using this time of complete relaxation to allow your energy to rise out of the body and into the muscles and into the organs. Filling the head with the positive energy of the inhalation and exhalation. Just feeling that tingly lightness of being that comes from these relaxation poses. So as you probably know, as we progress into the sequence, I'll speak less and less so that you can just really focus on relaxing. And then when you're ready, just gently wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, and then bring your feet onto the bolster. Have the feet together and the knees apart for a moment. Just resting your back into the floor. And then roll onto your right side. Stay down for a breath or two. And then straighten out your top leg, come back up into seated position. Just cross legs for a moment, just observing your energy, observing how your energy has changed. So we're going to do some reclining poses with a little bit of support. So just going to do our basic butterfly pose. So have a couple of blocks, one like this, one on its end, and then bring your bolster onto there. And then we're just going to sit by the bottom of the bolster, and then you're just going to lift your chest upwards as you roll back and recline. If your head feels like it's rolling back a little, then just put a folded blanket underneath your head. And then just allow yourself to release onto the floor. So this pose is quite transformative for energy. Perhaps you can feel the chest broadening and opening at the front. Perhaps you can feel the diaphragm region broadening. Maybe you can feel the abdominal region broadening. So once you have found your comfortable position, and just allow yourself to release. So as you know, as we progress into the practice, I'll speak less and less so that you can just focus on relaxation rather than having to listen. If any of these positions are uncomfortable, then just readjust the position until it feels more bearable, until it feels comfortable. There's nothing to be gained from just trying to style it out. Give yourself comfort all the way through the practice. Because without comfort, there is no relaxation. So if you need to, just adjust and then just allow yourself to relax. ready to disturb yourself, just push your hands into the floor and then bring yourself up into a seated position. Just observe the energy that you have released. It's that clean, positive, buoyant energy comes as a result of our relaxation poses. And then stay where you are. If you've got a second bolster, then have the bolster, keep the bolster for behind your back, and then have one for underneath your knees. So this will just act as, so it's like the fish pose, Matsyendrasana. So if you haven't got a second bolster, just put some rolled up blanket or some pillows underneath your knees, and then again just guide yourself down along the bolster, and again just observe and make sure that you feel comfortable. And then release into the floor. So again, the chest is opened by the position of the bolster in your back, and sensations on the back are softened with the bolster underneath the knees. So again, you might need to adjust a few times if you're not comfortable, just so that you can find your comfort level. Okay, when you're ready, just push your hands into the floor and then bring yourself up into a seated position. Just move the bolster out from underneath your knees and just come back into cross legs. Just a gentle hold onto the knees, just lifting the chest gently. Focusing on long, slow, deep, deliberate breaths. And then just move bolster actually keep that bolster where it was. You might want to change the position of it in a moment, but we're just going to come into a supported child's pose with the bolster on the ramp. Now, the bolster on the ramp might not feel right for everyone. Perhaps you feel that you might need a little extra lift around the abdominal region, in which case then you can just raise it up just a little bit more, just giving yourself a little bit more support, and then just rest yourself down into the bolster. Just rest your head on one side, so all that opening of the chest gets the antithesis of that from this pose. Just a gentle stretching of the back, a gentle stretching of the neck. So you can just turn your head from one side to the other periodically, just to give your neck an even stretch out. Just let go of the muscles of the arms and the legs. Just releasing into the pose. Finding that lightness of being, just draping the body over the bolster. Just alternating the position of the head evenly. Just swapping the position of your head, just stretch out your neck. Okay, when you're ready, just push your hands into the floor. Just sit back on your heels for a moment. Just observe the energy that you've released through your practice. And then just gently move the bolster. Put the bolster for underneath your knees. Just move all of the blocks out of the way. Have a folded blanket for underneath your head. And then just bring yourself back down into the basic relaxation pose, but this time without the blocks underneath your feet. Unless it feels uncomfortable in the hips. Otherwise, just allow, in which case put the blocks underneath the feet. Otherwise, just release down into the floor. Close your eyes and just enjoy that feeling of complete surrender into the floor. Allow the body to become heavy on the ground. But then observe through that heaviness comes a feeling of energetic lightness that radiates out from the bones and into the muscles. Into the organs, to the flesh and into the skin. Just use your in-breath and your out-breath to distribute that feeling of energetic lightness down into the tips of the toes, into the tips of the fingers, and up into the top of the head. Basking in that feeling of energetic lightness. And you're ready to disturb yourself, just gently wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers. And then bend your knees, bring your feet onto the bolster, have the feet apart and the knees together, just resting back into the floor. And then draw your knees in towards your chest, just have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom, just a gentle massage on the spine. And then very gently roll over onto your side, and your right side just stay down for a breath or two. And then straighten out the top leg, come back up into a seated position. Just sit yourself in cross legs with your hands in the masti, just a final spinal lift. Draw your breath in through your nose and down into the abdomen. Be conscious of the energy that you have released through your relaxation poses. That good, buoyant feeling of energetic lightness. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Just spend a moment to acknowledge the positive energy you have created inside. And then send some of that positive energy out into the world. And then when you're ready to release, just bring your hands back down onto your knees, palms facing upwards. Bringing the tip of the index finger with the tip of the thumb, stretching the other fingers away, just a gesture of peacefulness and wisdom that we can carry into our evening. And then when you are ready, just raise your head and allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. So hopefully you feel as though you really lifted your energy, transformed your energy from exhaustion to liveliness. So thank you very much for joining me.